Hello and welcome to today's stream for the Show Me Live. To anybody who may be new to our streams, basically what we do during this type of stream is, just talking about it makes me automatically stretch again. It feels really good. Okay, sorry. On to the explanation. I'm gonna try to keep it short. Basically, we have a Discord server. On that Discord server, we have a channel where you can post things like pictures, memes, and things of that nature. Just for the sake of conversation and hanging out and sharing thoughts and getting excited about content we really, really love. Hello to Colin and Sentinel and Hachimitsu. And Richie! Hello! Hello and welcome. Welcome, every nyan. Coffee beans in the club say, hey! What am I doing? Brain not braining today. I'm anticipating Valentine's Day, and I'm excited for it because usually Valentine's Day means spending sentimental time with the person I love most. And it also means food. I love food, but I also love my most favorite person in the whole wide universe. Hello, Mr. McGillicuddy. How are you? Hi, TV and Geezer. Hello. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful, let's say it together, Friday. It's Friday. We made it. The weekend is here. Exactly, Colin. AI art is completely prohibited because we do not want to support the bots. We want to support our beloved artists. Ender King says, you ever have one of those days where your ADHD just makes you do 4 hours of math? Well, not specifically math, but I do have the hyper-focus part of ADHD, and sometimes I think it's a part of me that has OCD, but not a lot of it, just a little bit. Just a little bit of OCD sprinkled in there. Completely undiagnosed, so you never know. Where I'm just like, there's something I see, and if I don't stop everything to focus on that one thing, I'm gonna go crazy. You guys see me do this in video games too, where I'll just completely beeline to the left and do something that has nothing to do with the main gameplay. I'll just be like, I need to do this now. This needs my complete and undivided attention. And then I'll just stare at that thing for like 4 hours. So in that vein, I can relate to that. Not specifically math. Sentinel says you got any fries for Friday. If so, I'm super jelly. Now I just got a pho for... My brain did not end that sentence well. I can't say that. I can't say that. Anyways, Colin says, I can confirm this, Sohma. So you've seen it. You've noticed as well. Ender King says, long story short, I was trying to make a realistic model of a prehistoric forest. Ooh. And I was like, what if I make a script that makes... You're working on script too? Dude, that's cool. What if I make a script that makes trees? 4 hours later, I have 5 pages of math on tree growth. Dude, I've heard that when it comes to rendering foliage, especially in, let's say, the video games like scene, it's very difficult and it takes a lot of PC load. So I can imagine running into difficulty upon difficulty upon difficulty. Yeah, when you're working with script, you're constantly problem solving. That must be really rough, dude. I commend you. Alright, let's get this Show Me Live started, shall we? First up, we have... I'm going to just mark everything as red for now, because then we can get rid of that little blue bar. First up, we have a post from Nixter saying, I built Lego hamsters. Oh my gosh, they really are Lego hamsters! Look, there's another one right here! They have a saline, and it's... Oh my gosh. Is this a hamster wheel on the left-hand side? That is so cute! All of the cuteness, none of the smell! Dude, that's adorable! I love that. Yes, as much as possible, Mr. McGillicuddy, that topic would be ideally best avoided for now. We are trying to make this as comfy a stream as possible. Sentinel says, ham everyone. They're so cute. I heard, oh no, I've seen pictures where people have hamster mouses that they can use for their computers. Although I love my trackball. I love my trackball mouse very much, and I refuse. It's too comfortable. Once you master the ways of the trackball mouse, it's really hard to want to go back to any other kind of gaming mouse. It's like, nah. I don't have to move my wrist around. My arm doesn't have to travel all over my desk. It's great. It's wonderful. But yeah, they're totally hamster mice out there. And I bet they're super duper cute in person. I still kind of want one, even if I'm not going to use it. Deviant Gazer says, I haven't used an actual mouse in years. Ooh, which one do you use? What kind of technologia do you use? And Colin says, Sega Sonic the Hedgehog used a ball controller as its control. Ball? Did you say ball? 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 I love ball. Zenless does not love me. Cries in 0 W engines for Suna. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep rolling until eventually I get her W engine. And Mr. McGillicuddy says, you can remind me of a short clip about a bunny and a hamster wondering why their real-life mouse isn't connecting them to the internet. This was the early 2000s. So this is a very dated animation. Yeah, dated or not, that's still super duper valid, I'm sure. I'm very curious. How does this animation end? Is it dank? Is it cute? Is it wholesome? And Deviant Gazer says, I use a laptop trackpad. I don't have anything more than a laptop at the moment. You know what? Fair enough. Whatever works, you know? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or, I mean, you can improve it just because you want to do stuff for the sake of fun. Speaking of fun, I'll take pictures of this later. I have a brand new desk that I gotta build, and I'm super duper excited. I am super duper excited. It's pink. Guys, I got a pink desk. It's a pink L-shaped desk, and it comes with its own shelves and an LED light built into it, and it's so cute. It's so freaking cute. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I love pink. I love pink. Am I predictable? Sometimes. Maybe this is why I do very questionable things sometimes. I can't let you guys see every move I make. And Colin says, I saw that commercial before. Why not all three? You know what? I like the way you think, Ender King. Gotta push the bounds of something somewhere, right? Deviant Gazer says, please take a picture of this desk when it's complete. I would love to say you got it. I will. I'd be happily, super duper happy. And then I'd have a place to put all of my HoloLife figures. Because they're all just kind of sitting on a shelf, being sad, unthematic. But because it's the desk of inspiration and the place where I do all of my creative work and my VTubing stuff, it would be only the most appropriate place to put my figurine collection, you know? Next up, we have a post from Sentinel. Sentinel says, that's super cute. This here is Fulgor, or I'm sorry, did I say that right? Fulgor, a centaur betrayed by the gods and cast down. He's a seasoned warrior, especially with his weapon. Legends and Night Rain say that the gods concealed themselves in thunder and struck with lightning to take him down. Geez, they really kind of cast him down. The gods banned him and then just They could have smited anybody, but they smit him in particular. If you use lightning on him, you might have an easier time, but make no mistake, Taking him down will be really hard. Ah, yes, good old thunder and lightning. Do you see the mass of this creature? I mean, they are partially humanoid, because hence the centaur. Oh no, there's spit all over my hands! Ah, I'm gonna go take a moment to fix that. Thank you for the blessing. Thank you. But very interesting boss fight. Why do we have to fight? Why does everything have to be a fight to the death? Why can't we just make friends and be like, bruh, same? Why can't we just find a giant guy and be like, dude, let's just take a moment to sit together in the rain. It's okay. This world sucks, but we can navigate it together. He's a boss from Elden Ring, Night Ring. I know. That's what you told me. I will say though, the design for a lot of the bosses you have shown me thus far look really sick. I need to sneeze again. I need to sneeze again. Must not. Maybe if I sniff really hard, the sneeze will retract. Nope, that didn't work. And Colin says, he looks like he's got some dangerous range with that weapon. Oh yeah. Given the scale of this creature, one sweep of his sword probably could travel very, very, very far. I don't think I'd like that. No matter how much I tell... what was the horse's name in Elden Ring? No matter how much I tell Torrent to run, I don't think we'll be able to outpace this guy. Next up, we've got a really cool creature here. Before I read what you've said about it, I just wanted to point out, doesn't this remind you guys at all of a certain scaleless, maybe Seath creature? Just a little bit. Somewhere in my mind, that's what this reminds me of. It's kind of cool though. Cool, get it? Because it's covered in ice? Alright. And Sentinel says, and here's the last boss from the base of Night Ring. Won't post the final boss due to spoilers, which I appreciate. Just know that it's brutal. Anyway, this is Caligo, an ancient frost dragon who's been around a very long time. Dude, dragons are the best. Watching over everything and amassing knowledge. Knowledge. Coincidence? She may give off Seath the Scaleless vibes. Exactly. That's exactly who I was thinking of. And she does. But much like Seath, this dragon is no joke. She's fast, taking to the skies. I mean, I can't just like go to the corner where her tail and her butt meet and just smack until dead. Because that's how I handled Seath. If this one flies, I'm doomed. I'm so dead. D-E-A-D. Dead. Does look like a crystal dragon. But to my knowledge, they are covered in ice, I think. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. And when she's on the ground, she uses her ice to cover the area in frost. To beat this boss, use fire and lots of it. It'll be a long battle, but with enough strength and planning, and a whole lot of luck, even the mightiest of dragons can fall. I really like the way you wrote that, Sentinel. If I didn't know any better, do you write scripts? Or are you a narrator of some kind? Very eloquently written. Can't help but notice. And Sentinel says, unfortunately, you need to wait for the right moments to attack. So it's a patience game. Because if you rush it and you get hit, you can't afford to get hit, right? You gotta play your cards right, because I imagine there are certain attacks in that fight that are just really unfair that you have to try to survive. And Colin says, yes, classic fire versus ice. Two elemental rivals going at it. Oh yeah. Yup, these are game mechanics at their truest. Sentinel says neither. Just get burst. Just got a burst of inspiration. Nice, very nice. And next up, we've got a picture of Cat Guy. Sentinel says, and for my final submission, someone also from Dispatch, a guy in a cat costume. This is Mr. Whiskey. What? Not like for whiskers, but whiskey as in the alcohols? Mr. Whiskey, he's a background character in the game, but he serves an essential purpose around Dispatch Center. He's a coffee. Oh, coffee. Okay. I was worried about what was in these mugs. Some people could put coffee, other people soda, and in this case it could be whiskey. But you said coffee, so I am totally here for a coffee, bro. In fact, I'm going to grab myself some coffee right now. Let me read the rest of what you said. He serves an essential purpose. He's a coffee cat. He brews and brings coffee to tired dispatchers to perk them up. Dude, that is awesome. Seriously cool. Head pat. Thank you for doing a good service and giving and distributing the coffee to those in need. I can imagine that being a dispatcher must be really tiresome work. And Sentinel says his favorite kind of coffee is Irish coffee. Ooh, dude, have you had Irish coffee before? That stuff is strong. I could go for some. Why don't we serve Irish coffee at the cafe? I want some. That would be really nice. Deviant Gazer says, Dispatch is such an awesome game. It's hard and challenging, but in a fair way. If you say it's fair, then I'd be totally down to give that a try. I just gotta look a little more into it until I give it the final double thumbs up, you know? Play to your discretion, though. To my discretion. Will do. I gotta do more research. Next up, we've got food pictures from Lumi. If you guys are hungry, this is the time to tune out. Do not look at the pictures because they are delicious. Fried chicken. Ooh, we've got pictures of fried chicken. Dude, I'm such a cowardly cat when it comes to making fried food. I think Lumi is a culinary hero. Ooh, wow. The insides look perfect. Oh, and you turn them into chicken sandwiches. That sounds... Oh my gosh, that looks lovely. I need to come over so I can eat your food. And Sentinel says, paying the Sohma tax, I see. Yes! Feed me food! I love chicken. Chicken's like one of my favorite foods of all time. I love chicken. Give? Give? Oh, the picture's so freaking good that I need to start moving forward. My mouth's watering. Next up, we've got a post from Colin. Colin says, this Keyblade is called Sweet Dreams, arguably the second hardest Keyblade to get in Dream Drop. I have a hard time saying Dream Drop. Dream Drop Distance. How to obtain, get a star rank on every Flick Rush Cup as either Sora or Riku. Dude, it's cute though! It's cute! There's like a little dude at the very top. And you've got a little trophy on the end of it, which probably marks your success in doing those mini games. I imagine this has something to do with food. It looks like it's got something to do with food because there's a fork and a knife. And the colors suggest deliciousness. If you look really closely here, you've got two layers. First layer, second layer, and on top, a whole bunch of strawberries. And here, more strawberries. And Colin says, Flick Rush is basically a mini-game version of Chain of Memories. Oh, I gotta give that a try one day. I recently bought a collection of Kingdom Hearts games just for the sake of nostalgia, and I'm going through Kingdom Hearts 1 just for funsies again. And another post says, here's the official Super Mario Galaxy movie poster I said I'd show. From what I saw, it seems to show the Sand Kingdom from Super Mario Odyssey. I can't wait for this movie, dude. I've never seen this before. Was there always like an upside down pyramid? Ooh, in April. That's close to Bon's birthday. That could be a way we celebrate it, if he wants to. And Colin says, I would do this after you unlock all the Flick Rush cups, as some cups aren't available until you get past certain parts of the game. And Colin says, I also heard that Sweet Dreams Keyblade was glitched in the 3DS version, as in one character could get it but the others can't. Well, I mean, how many characters can wield the Keyblade? Isn't it just... No, it's not just one. I've heard, seen... My knowledge of the Kingdom Hearts universe is very confused. Doesn't help that I randomly stumble into clips on YouTube about Kingdom Hearts, so I'm just like, what's that? What's this? I recognize that guy. Wait, no I don't. And next up, we've got a post from Colin here. You aren't seeing things. This is actually Ryu in Mega Man X Dive from Street Fighter V crossover. Ryu, yeah, I recognize him. Ryu is very iconic. Ryu himself has been in a lot of crossover games from Super Smash Bros. To Marvel vs. Capcom, and then some. He really gets around. Very cool artwork too. Gotta appreciate the speed lines. But yeah. Didn't expect him to show up in Mega Man X Dive. Not something that would come to mind, but I mean, it's Capcom. Hello, Jason. Ah, you're too nice. Me? Your favorite YouTuber? That's awfully kind of you to say. I appreciate the compliment. I'll keep doing my best so that we are always going on adventures and having good times together. I'm doing good. How are you? I'm a little eepy, but I've got a big cup of coffee thanks to the Bon Bon. Mr. the Bon Bon gave me a big cup of coffee. That's a soup cup. Oh, and it seems I have so far drinking about half the cup. Let's drink some more. That's pretty good. Next up, we have a post from Mr. McGillicuddy. Didn't print too much this time around, but I printed this one for my dad. Something I think any artist would like, a Chinese long dragon pencil cup. There's a pencil cup. That's cool! Credit to Wow3D on printables.com for making the model. Dude! Yeah, I love this too. I would love, if I could take some artistic liberties, I would love to make a long Chinese dragon like this, but make it black with gold tinted scales. Ah, it's so cool! It's super duper cool. I also noticed that you've got a red dragon to the right and something else that's been printed to the left. Jason says, I'm good. I had ketchup lays. Ketchup lays? I've never seen that before. Does it really taste like ketchup? Or is it just like flavorful or extra spicy? And Colin says, fun fact, you can get a Hadoken in X1 and it instantly kills enemies and bosses, but you must be at full health and do a Hadoken input command to do the use. To use that command is down, quarter circle down, right shoot. Ah, the quarter circle inputs. I am taken back once more to my days of Blaze Blue. It's fighting game, so it makes sense. Yeah. Jason says, would you ever eat ketchup lays? I mean, there's a first time for everything, so I don't see why not. If I was offered it, I wouldn't turn my nose up at it. I'd be like, oh man, what the heck is this? This is weird. Oh well. Crunch. And Jason says, it's like a tangy, sweet flavor? Okay, you had me at sweet. I love sweet things. Okay. Now I'm definitely interested. Now I gotta try it. Mr. McGillicuddy says, that's a spool holder. I mean, technically, when you look at a pencil holder, it can have many, many uses. You can use it for pencils, you can use it for pens, you can use it for markers, if you're an artist, paintbrushes. You can use it for toothbrushes. You could use it for... What else? I'm trying to think here. You could use it for makeup brushes, makeup supplies, a ton of things. And Mr. McGillicuddy says, I meant the long thing next to the dragon. Oh, okay. So it's actually a spool holder. I do not know what a spool holder is. Google it. What is a spool holder? I mean, it probably holds spools, as the name would imply. It is a device designed to hold a roll of spool, such as thread wire or 3D printer filament, allowing it to rotate freely for smooth, tension-free dispensing. It keeps materials organized, prevents tangles, and supports various spool sizes, commonly used in sewing, embroidery, and manufacturing. Huh, the more you know. I need like a sound for that, just the do-do-do. King says, and Blender looks like it's about to crash my entire PC. Hopefully I can stop it before then. Good luck. I imagine you're working on developing something pretty massive, especially if you're ambitious and getting into a creative zone. You could do it, Ender. And Colin says, I'm impressed with how it looks. It's like it's rising up into the sky. Oh, for sure. I love it. It looks very cool, but also very natural, too. You see his little foot right there. We got the toes and his arms. It's perfect. And you got the little end of his tail right there. Honestly, you might make Shenron jealous. Very well done. And the king says, update, crisis averted. Oh, glad to hear it. Make sure to save your work before your PC decides to just on fire. Control S thy work. And next up, we've got another picture from Mr. McGillicuddy. And they say, this is from Genshin Impact. When I got, I almost said Columbina, and logged in the next day. The daily Primogen screen changed to this. Kind of a nice touch from Hoyo. It's cute. I love adorable 2D art like this. It's cute. It is a good update. For sure. I like it when games change things up from time to time. It makes the game still feel fresh. Especially when it's Genshin. I mean, fresh gameplay and Genshin going together. I have my own opinions about that, but you know. Yeah, this game definitely wore me out. I tried to play Genshin for a while, and then I realized this game is so pay to win. And then I lost all of my desire to play it because I tried really, really hard to do dailies. To do my dailies and to progress in the game and to farm for certain materials. And I wasn't good. I wasn't good at the game. I lacked the necessary materials and weapons to be able to clear things. And I even had to ask for help from my friends. And they could do it because they pay for everything. And then the FOMO hit. And then I was like, this game is too expensive! And how do you guys think I feel about Zenless? It's not the end of the world if I don't get their W engines, but I still want them because they give the characters adorable, like, special effects and makes them all glowy and sparkly and stuff, and my characters must sparkle! They must. Oh, and you know, the effects that come with their signature weapons are also very good and catered towards that character in particular. It's like saying, if you have a favorite Pokemon, would you give them vitamins? Yes. Would you Eevee and Ivy train them? Absolutely. Are you going to play with them competitively? No. So why go through all that effort? Me? I do it for the sake of loving that particular Pokemon and wanting them to be at their peak. You know, just because I really, really like this Pokemon. It's the same thing with me with characters in any video game I play, whether it was Genshin or in current times for me, it is now Zenless. I could not go back to Genshin. I could not. This game's very evil when it comes to the wallet and the spending. It's hard just getting the characters you want. I'm too scared to spend money on weapons. For anybody who has, how was the grind? From your experiences, how was the grind getting your weapons in Genshin Impact? Also, art is adorable. I'm sorry, I totally sidetracked. I went on a whole side rant there. My apologies, everyone. Let me go ahead and see what else is next. Next up, we've got a post from Ender here. Is it just me, or do your cryptids, aka sea scorpions, kind of look cute when they're viewed from above? Like this one, credit to June075 on Wikipedia, has the same energy as a cat you just caught playing with a vase. Ooh, okay, let me see if I can grab this link and share it with everybody. Oh, I'm sorry, I said it wrong. You ripped your ribs. Whose ribs you ripping? Okay, sorry. You ripped her ribs. Gotcha. Here's the link to the first piece shirt. So there you guys go. If you guys ever want to check out more on this, then you can. You throw pods. It's not you throw pods. You rip turds. So yeah, we're going into bug territory. Just a heads up for you guys. No, it's not a surprise. It is like, if I tilt my head slightly to the left, it's kind of cute. Oh, it kind of looks like a catfish if you look at its face. Can you see it's got like whiskers? You can kind of see the whiskers. It kind of looks like a lobster if you look at its shell casing here, all the way down to its tail. It's a lobster. And these pieces kind of remind me of the pinchies. And it's got more pinchies where its mouth would be. Or maybe it's a pair of mandibles? Ender King says both pics, same link. So I only posted it once. Fair enough. Makes sense to me. I like its whiskers. I also like its eyes here. Its eyes are very cute. Still love these creatures, especially when I see them in the fantasy-esque setting. Also, on the topic of June075, here's a drawing of Anomalocaris, and quite possibly the single most accurate picture of Anomalocaris on the entire internet, complete with gills and the shell on its head. Ah, you mean this piece right here. It kind of looks like a nose. It's cute. Although I'm not going to lie, these teeth right here, absolutely terrifying. But the rest of it is very cute. Looks like a series of noodles. Very fin-like, very cute. Very skyborn. Very graceful. Colin says, I've never seen an insect like that. These are ancient creatures, right? Yeah, I still have a lot to learn about these dudes, so if you ever want to enlighten us, Ender King, now is your time. Ender King says they're just there for grip. You're telling me that Fang 1 and Fang 2 is just for gripping? I'm almost scared to ask, what do they want to grip onto? I imagine they're prey, or... in the animal kingdom, it would be either prey or a mate. That is terrifying! Look at all those hooks and burrs and ouchie points. I would hate to be gripped by something like that. And Ender King says the weird hair stuff on the back is gills. Oh, so it is gills. This stuff up here that goes all the way across its spine. That makes sense to me. Yeah, I see gills too. Ender King says squid. They're slippery, so you need all the grip you can get. Or I could just leave it alone and let it live its best life and not grab it. What a cool little guy. And then next up, we have a post from Colin here. Here's the crazy, unlike other extremes. This runs on runs like supersonic. What is this? What am I looking at here? It kind of looks like a car, but it also looks like a soap holder. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at. My apologies, Colin. Let me read the rest of what you said. If you use this one, keep an eye on your rings and don't run out. Fun fact, its design was inspired by B.D. Joe's Taxi from the Crazy Taxi series. Ah, okay. I definitely see the taxi part. The rest of it is quite the bewilderment. Ender King says they were basically the sharks of their day, so leaving food alone was not really an option. So they were the big guys on turf. You didn't want to mess with them. Interesting. Today's sharks are kind of like tarantulas in a way. They're big and they're scary and everybody fears them, but they're also poorly misunderstood. Where sharks are also prey. They've been made into food. Killer whales, aka Shamu, kind of trolls great white sharks. And by troll I mean they play with their food. And they have also killed great white sharks. Just for the fun of it. And that's why I can't look at Shamu the same way again. I'm like, so many people feel so bad for Shamu, and I'm like, nah, that thing's psychotic. That creature right there? It's crazy. And Colin says, you don't want to end up on foot in riders games because you are very fast on foot, and if you do end up on foot, you're in trouble. Okay, question. In the riders games, do you play as Sonic the Hedgehog? Because if you do, you gotta go fast. And Colin says that's why you don't want to run out of rings with a crazy extreme gear. And Ender King says I can never look at dolphins the same way ever again. Oh no. Not the dolphins. Oh man, I learned about the terrible things about dolphins, I think sometime around middle school, if I had to guess. Sometime around then. The concept went right over my head though because I was too young at the time. Now that I'm older, why does the animal universe work the way it does? It's like God put the wrong software .exe in the dolphin's head programming, you know? There's a Simpsons horror episode that goes... No, shut up. No. There's an episode on it? That sounds terrifying. And just very messed up on several accounts. Although I will say I had the blessing to see a dolphin before, and it was a little magical. It was fun. Me and Bond, we were going whale watching on a, what do you call those really fast, well, it's a speedboat, right? You call them speedboats because they zoom really fast on the water. Yeah, they were all jumping by the side of our ship, and it was like really super magical to me. It's like, huh, what are the chances that would have happened? Right here, right now, in front of me. And Sentinel says, dolphins in the wild are jerks. Dolphins in captivity are show-offs. I mean, that's not wrong. If you're trying to live your best life and say you're a dolphin in captivity, yeah, might as well own it, right? You might as well have the most fun you possibly can have. Within boundaries. And Mr. McGillicuddy says, long story short, the dolphins come onto land and drove everyone to sea. Well, that's just rude. Can't entirely blame them for it. Us humans, we don't make life for aquatic creatures easy, but the ocean doesn't make life for aquatic creatures easier either, because nature is evil. Nature is scary. The circle of life is like more like the circle of death, and we hope to respawn, maybe. And Mr. McGillicuddy says, so basically the sharks from Finding Nemo are right about dolphins? Or so the rumors say, yes. I think so. I wouldn't know. I'd never met one personally. Okay, I might have seen a couple out in the wild, so, but I didn't get to pet a dolphin. So there's that. Probably for the best. Ender King says, they were too nice about dolphins, to be honest. They could have roasted them better, is what you think, Ender King. I can imagine. You know, it's really difficult for many a subject media to get into the discussion of just how evil dolphins truly are. I still think sham or killer whales still kind of take the prize when it comes to most messed up sea creature, because they will play around just to find out. Like, they don't need to eat certain creatures. Like manta rays, they don't need to eat manta rays. But one of them got curious and said, what if I take a manta ray and I flip it upside down? And it apparently puts a manta ray into a catatonic state, and it doesn't know how to move. It's like, it just ceased to function. And because of that, the killer whales discovered that when they do this, the creature, the manta ray, will eventually drown or not come up for air, and it will eventually drown. And so they started doing this and then started eating them so that they didn't have to get stung. And I'm like, dude, you didn't even need to do this to survive. There was no reason to be picking on other sea creatures like this. Rude. Wait, are killer whales actually whales? Are killer whales a type of dolphin? Hold up, let me look this up on Google. Are killer whales dolphins? Yes, killer whales, orcas, are scientifically classified as the largest member of the oceanic dolphin family. There you go! Dolphins are jerks, and the orcas are the worst of them. Orcas are the worst dolphins to ever exist in human history. At least that's my knowledge so far. I rest my case. And Renji says, I love that Treehouse of Horror Death Note episode. There's a Death Note episode? Are you for realsies? There are some episodes of The Simpsons I have never seen that I want to very curiously explore. Even if it's good, even if it's not good. Just to see how far they want to push the envelope. Ender King says, but manta rays don't need air though. Then, where did I learn this knowledge from? Do manta rays need air to breathe? Do manta rays... Let me make sure I'm not confusing. Rays need air. Manta rays do not need air. They are fish that breathe underwater using gills. Orcas... Training... Wait, they've turned over boats? What? Why would they do that? Orcas flipping boats primarily off the Iberian Peninsula, or around Spain or Portugal, involves pods repeatedly ramming sailboats, often targeting and destroying rudders, leading to sinkings, with the behavior spreading as learned fad or play, not aggression. I don't know, that's an aggressive kind of play, by young orcas who find the movable rudders. I'm not gonna read that word. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, orcas found certain boats and intriguing, and then got a little frisky towards those boats, and then they broke it. Oh dear God. You know what? Just don't research orcas. How about that? I'll try to get my facts straight about that story I heard about the flipping of the manta rays. Maybe it wasn't a manta ray. Maybe it was a different kind of creature that looks like a manta ray, and I mistook it. That could be a my bad. But they go out of their way to try to eat and kill everything, just to see if they can, you know? And I'm like, that sounds like something a human would do. Maybe the orcas are the humans of the aquatic world. And humans ruin everything. But we also have the abilities to make things better too. So we can't all, it's not all bad. And then the king says yes, and dolphins, because dolphins are a type of whale. Are they like what, cousins? Nephews twice removed? And Sentinel says, I learned today that as long as axolotls stay in the water, they can stay young forever. Forever young. They wanna be forever young. Axolotls are sweet little babies. They're sweet little adorable babies who deserve lots of TLC. When I was first introduced to axolotls, I bet you guys can bet it was via Minecraft, and then I wanted to learn more and more about them. Then I started seeing like clips of them on YouTube where there were actual like pet owners of axolotls, and not all axolotls look the same. And Mr. McGillicuddy says, that one Simpsons episode where Homer turned everyone into him really freaked me out. Dude, if you could live on the entire Earth and every single person was just another you, could you do it? Could you get along with yourself for all eternity? I wouldn't want that. I would drive me insane. I'd ask far too many questions. I'm a yapper, so I'd never shut up. And I'm also very emotional too, and need lots of hugs. I'd never get a break from me. I'd go bananas. But as the Steel says, if the world was just populated by clones of me, I would just get annoyed and bored. You know what? Fair. That is fair. I mean, we do know ourselves the best. Oh my gosh, I would need so much therapy sessions. And that's all therapy for me, of me, by me, because of me. And Deviant Gazer says, oh, I know exactly what episode you're talking about, and it freaked me out too. I want to watch. Guys, can you throw me like the season and the episode number and I'll look for it? I want to see it too. Okay, sorry. I got distracted. Continuing forward, we have a post from Mr. McGillicuddy saying, this here is from Digimon. Here is Omninon Merciful Mode. Ooh, they look pretty cool. They also look like a Gundam. First introduced in the final episode of Digimon Tri, this is their most powerful and final form they can achieve. Their signature moves, Fearsome Blade, can cleave through anything, and Graceful Cannon fires a laser of absolute zero cold. Their cannon arm looks like a doggo! Does that have anything to do with their pre-evolutions? Because here's something I notice about Digimon in general. Digimon, cute, adorable little creature dude. And as they digivolve and continuously grow, they become more and more humanoid. And I'm just like, my disappointment could not be any larger. Dude, Digimon and Pokemon are so cool when they keep their beast-like traits or their animalistic traits as they become stronger. And that's just my feelings on the matter. Mr. McGillicuddy says, it is a fusion of War Greymon and Metal Gurumon. War Greymon. I think I know this one. Hold up. Let me type it into the gifts here and see what comes up. 1 second, you guys. So we have War Greymon. this guy, right? It's this dude with the explosion. I remember this animation. I remember this really old animation. So bad. Okay, it's this guy and Metal. I don't know who Metal Gurumon is. So if any of y'all want to throw a picture in the Show Me Live, go for it. I encourage it. I want to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And next up from Colin, we have a picture of two really cool looking anime girls here. My most recent summons and Fire Emblem heroes, Valentine's duo Veil. The duo consists of Veil and Alir. From a recent Valentine's banner, their duo ability gives a follow-up attack. They're voiced by Megan Taylor Harvey and Laura Stahl. It's cool when you've got good voice actors behind them too. Ah, they're adorable. I also like to note that their flowers are very unique to each other too. Like they're not the same. Like these look like tulips. These I don't know what flowers they are, but they're beautiful all the same. Oh, and she has a tulip back here too. Interesting. Very pretty. Very cute. The girl on the right, her hair kind of reminds me of a can of Pepsi. We have Pepsi Man, but where's Pepsi Girl? And Deviant Gazer says, it's one of those animations that's so bad but so good at the same time. The explosion behind the rigged model, I think, really sells. I 100% Orange Juice agree with you on that. I just can't help but laugh. And Sentinel says, I was today years old when I learned that Digimon names are file names made real. Agu.mon, Poru.mon, Belzimon, etc. That's why they all end in mon. What's a mon file? I mean, mon just sounds like it's short for monster, right? So I think that's what I went with in my head as a kid growing up. What's a mon file and what is its function? Like, I know what an exe file is for. It's short for executable, which usually means here's a file. You want to run it? You want its function to activate? That's a .exe file. I don't know what PNG stands for. Or what JPEG. I just know they're pictures. PNGs usually have transparent backgrounds. JPEGs, they're pictures, but they're not as good as PNGs. PNGs are the superior ones. And Colin says, Veil is the one with black and white hair, and Altar is the one with blue and red hair. Well, Altar looks like she's a can of Pepsi. Very cute. Love the dual eye colors. Love the dual hair colors. I can feel the fizzy pop in my head going, well, not in my head specifically, but I can simulate a can of soda immediately after looking at her. Sentinel says it is short for monster. .mon. Monster file. Ah, I see. So not an IRL like file of sorts. It's fascinating. Fictional file types. Let's go. And Mr. McGillicuddy says, posted Metal Garurumon. Also, you got the wrong image for Wargame. I did. Well, blame the gifts. Blame the gifts. I gotta go back up. Alright. I'll go ahead and delete. I'll delete that Alright, we got a woo. See, this is a cool Digimon. I'm going to argue that this is a cool Digimon. It's actually on all fours. But it's also metal. And it's ready to kick butt. It's got missiles on its shoulders. Man, Blastoise, what are you even doing? You needed a Mega Evolution to even get a tiny semblance of combat readiness. Look at this absolute beast. Sentinel says fictional files housing digital monsters. So cool. I agree. And this is why I need to try playing a Digimon game. Very cool. Okay, I like these two. Alright. 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 Alright, alright, alright. I like it. So these two combine together, and don't worry guys, I'll make sure to go through all these posts in just a skoshi. In just a tiny bit. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I went too far. Combine them to get this one. It makes sense. Can they ever unfuse if they need to? Is a fusion permanent? Just curious about that. But I like it. Hi, Sylphin! Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a fantabulous Friday so far. Mr. McGillicuddy says, fun fact, anything from the Greymon family are mainly warriors, while anything from the Garurumon family use heavy artillery. I think it's pretty dope. Not gonna lie, pretty cool. Next up from Ender King. Ender King says, I give to you a group render of our Doronai Nui Bionicle TTRPG party. Quick Lord TLDR. Which I imagine could be pretty tough to give in a TLDR format. Everyone here is a Toa, which is basically a supercharged warrior with bending powers and able to use mask powers. That's a lot of powers. Ooh. So wait, I heard you mentioned in chat earlier that you work with Blender, which means you render 3D models as well. Did you make these? Or did you make these? Is this a group project? Was it a collaborative creation? Either way, it looks really, really cool. Sentinel says Digimon can return to their base forms, so yes, Digimon.fuse can be undone. Interesting. So in a way, it's kind of like a temporary mega evolution of sorts, but Digimon version. But, you know, who's to say who did it first? Probably Digimon. Ender King says, I can give you a rundown of each if you want. Sure, go for it. And Ender King says, correct, that's why there's no source link. Gotcha. Well, it looks like you worked really hard on this. I do like the lighting and textures, because it really does look like a set of Bionicle figures. And Selfin says, huh, neat. I have a set of the Rolly guys from Bionicle in my closet somewhere. I don't know much about Bionicle itself, though. That's okay, I'm brand new myself. I don't know nothing. Wheels of Steel says, Sohma, I always thought your favorite Digimon would be Gatomon, considering how much you love cats. Of course I'd love Gatomon! I remember seeing them hang out with in this series, it was with a girl, and I was just like, I wish I was that kid, because I'd love to have Gatomon as a friend. Colin says, they came out nicely. I agree. And then King says, so on the left we have Itatu, our Toa of Mind. She has a mask that lets her morph the organic parts of anything. The entire Bionicle universe is cyborgs. So if they don't have a lot of resources then to work with in that regards. But if they ever find another planet that's full of organic life, then they would be incredibly powerful. Ender King, okay, I read that one, and Mr. McGillicuddy says, oh yeah, that wasn't the original Omni... What do you mean not the original Omninom form? I dare you guys to say Omninom like 10 times fast. Omninom, 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 num 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 Omninom, num 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 Omninom. It's hard not to hear the nom nom noms in that name. And Colin says gravity and teleportation, that's quite the combo. And Mr. McGillicuddy says, want me to post a picture of him? Yeah, go for it. I love learning little bits and pieces, and you guys are helping me put the pieces of the puzzle together, and I appreciate that. Ender King says, second from the left is Fahiro, my character. He's a Toa of gravity and has a mask of teleportation. So, Fahiro, the purple one, they can do a big floating in the sky? But they can also play with gravity, so I imagine that pretty much goes hand in hand with how they get around the world, right? Enderking says, third from the left is Kopahi, the Toa of ice. His mask lets him make things heavier or lighter at will. He's also a blacksmith. Ooh, you gotta love a character with a hobby. And blacksmiths are always super duper cool. Is that why he has a giant old hammer? Also, the heavier or lighter thing at will. Does he control the massive objects? Because, I mean, I'd like to fly. I want him to make me as light as a feather, please. I don't mind if my butt is stuck on the ceiling for like 8 hours. Do it! Do it! And Colin says, you don't see too many gravity manipulators these days. It's a darn shame. But I can kind of see why. I imagine they might be a little broken. A little broken. Just a little. Feel free to tell us about the last guy on the right, the one who appears to be holding a pole arm of sorts. Is he a Toa of Earth? Just taking a little guess here. Throwing my guess in the ballpark because of the color scheme they have. And then our king says, and finally we have I want to say coffee. Kofe, Toa of metal with a mask of telekinesis. He also has the most tragic backstory as his whole past team was wiped out and he got turned into a Hordika, bionicle werewolf. He can become an uwaaa. But you said it's tragic, so it's probably not a good thing. Poor guy. Double. Oh, but he also has telekinesis powers? That's pretty nutter butters. Thanks for sharing all of that, Enderking. You worked really hard on these characters. I commend you. Keep up the great work. Enderking says, not by choice he can't. Ah, gotcha. So, wait, which part is not by choice? The telekinesis? The telekinesis part, right? Colin says, he's a metal manipulator. That's a super rare power. You gotta have a little bit of fun when you're creating your own characters. We want them to be as unique as possible, so giving them rare powers is a surefire way to do it. And Enderking says, yeah, it's a time bomb because Itatu may or may not have been responsible for that incident. Ah, so it's only a matter of time until the unfortunate truth gets out. And here we've got a post from Colin that says, this took me 5 years to complete in Sword Art Online Integral Factor. Ooh, you've been playing this game for 5 years? You get my round of applause for that, because staying dedicated to a game for that long is dedication. You must have really had a good time. I commend you. This was for defeating 1 million enemies. I'm not kidding. This was perhaps the longest and most time-consuming achievement I've seen in my life, and I'm honestly proud of this one. Very cool. And they only give you 50 Arcana gems for your efforts. It's cool that you get the achievement. I feel like you could probably get a better reward. You tell me. You play the game. Do you feel like you were compensated for your efforts adequately? And Colin says, actually, I've been playing for so much longer than that by now. Do tell. Colin says, I will say extremely few players have ever done this. I can imagine. If by what you said is to be taken seriously, that would make a lot of sense. And then moving forward, our next post is by Wheelman. And it's some artwork of two Pikachus. But one's got hair and a questionable expression. And he's calling the other Pikachu a yellow rat when they themselves is also a yellow mouse. It's essentially the same character, like, come on. Alright, let me get the link. Here's a link to the artwork and artist. If you guys ever want to check them out, there you go. Who are these two characters? Their description says it's Pikachu Day in Japan. Apparently that's February 5th. So what's more to celebrate than the day than having Nick have an interaction to a regular Pikachu? Ah, this must be several characters across the internet I may or may not be familiar with. So... You guys are always, like, showing me things I've never learned of before. It's fascinating. Little Steel says, fun fact, to be actually about the first image, it was originally going to be completely different images, but I deleted the image because it was evil? Because it was something we do not support in this house. Yep, none of that is allowed here. And Wheelman says, I know that this wasn't made by evil AI bots, because a friend of mine I know made this image. It's adorable. It's got that, like, old Looney Tunes energy, which I will grab the source link and I will share it here. There you guys go. We love and support artists here at the cafe. But yeah, it's got like the, what do you call it? The Wile E. Coyote and the speedrunner energy. And of course, the speedrunner is going to be the Pikachu. And I miss Team Rocket. Pokemon's not the same without them. Ah, and Wheels of Steel says the Pikachu with black hair is actually a Pokemon persona of my friend Nicholas. That makes sense. It had OC energy for sure. Got you. Very cool. Ah yes, Roadrunner. What did I call him? I didn't call him Speedrunner, did I? Roadrunner, correct. I called him Speedrunner! What the heck, Braid? Why are you doing this to me? Roadrunner. They even have an internet thing. Like, an internet subscription. Roadrunner. I'm feeling a little silly right now. How did I forget their name? Well, they're always seen on roads. Oh, I love birds. Apparently, there's an actual bird called the Roadrunner. Apparently so. The more you know. And next up, we have an adorable picture of Isabelle, from which I believe is from... Is this a Smash logo? Was Isabelle in Smash? Nuh-uh. No way. Cute, and here is the source link if you guys ever want to give the artist a looky look. And Wheels of Steel says, I do like the dynamic Pikachu has with Meowth. What's really sad is I feel like the two of them could be friends if he wasn't trying to capture Pikachu. Agreed. I agree with you. Yes, all the potential friendships that we could have made along the way. This is adorable. I like the speed lines and the hammer just coming down. It's a subtle minimalistic, like, effect added here, but it does so much for the illustration. Tiny woof, big hammer. And Colin says, Roadrunner is one of the fastest characters in Looney Tunes. Yep, meep meep. He'll never get caught. Sylphin says, Smacky Isabelle. Her jab is surprisingly good. How do you get her? Is she an unlockable character? Or is she just a spirit? That's what I want to know. Colin says, but Isabelle's jab is very short range, which is why she probably could use the hammer. I guess you can say she's not a very pause-on attacker. And Deviant Gazer says, wasn't the whole dynamic between Pikachu and Meowth and the anime and in the game itself a parody of Tom and Jerry or the whole cat and mouse dynamic? That would make a surprisingly big amount of sense. You know, my brain never put the two to two together where there was Meowth, the cat, and Pikachu the mouse. It's so obvious that I didn't notice. I have to talk about this with Bond later, huh? I wonder if he noticed that. You guys always find a new way to impress me with knowledge. Like, it's like right there, under my nose, the whole time. And that's why their Pokédex numbers are inversed? That too, of all things. And Maria Akiyama says, just tuning in to say I hope you are doing utterly well, and I hope you have a good evening. Thanks for dropping in, and I hope you have a very wonderful, wonderful day and weekend. May the otters keep you warm and comfy. You want me to tell little bro to hug an otter? I'll do it. Any opportunity I get, must troll the little bro. And Mills of Steel says, don't worry, Isabelle is unlockable in Smash Bros. Ultimate. You just need to play Classic mode a bunch of times. I mean, definitely worth it. I didn't know she was a playable character. Okay, maybe I might try this game again. Maybe. Maybe do it for her. And only her. Alright, you got it, Maria. Maria says, it tickles me to no end when he's like, I see you in my sister stream, and I'm like, scatter. The dynamics we all share. It's a hoot. And Colin says, World of Light is more likely the way you'll unlock everyone on the base roster. Maybe you should play Smash Bros. Ultimate on stream one day? Before I develop any form of skills in that game. Nuh-uh. That game's competitive. And I want some measure of skill. Even if it's only 10 or 15%, I gotta try, I gotta practice. First, I gotta unlock the character. Second, I gotta learn how to play that character. Third, I'm not so good at learning on the spot. I have to dedicate hours of time to learn my craft. But it's something I will consider. Colin says there's also DLC characters. How many DLC characters are we talking? How many? I imagine it's quite a lot. Oh, this is an Animal Crossing character. They're cute. Here is the source link to the artist here. If you guys want to check them out. They look like the drink Bond brought home. Their name is Sasha. They look like the honeydew milk tea boba that Bond brought home today. And I was like, ooh, honeydew. This is pretty good. I like it. And then I asked Bond, 1 out of 10, how much do you enjoy this drink? And he said, it's an 8. And I'm like, you take the boba. And I gave it to him. I'm like, to me, honeydew is kind of like, it's kind of like a 4 to a 5 for me. It's extremely sweet. It is very yummy. But it's not my favorite, if that makes sense. It doesn't mean it's any less good. It's just, if I know Bond's going to enjoy something far more than I do, I want him to have it. So I made sure to put it back into his hands and make sure that he drinks it. 13 DLC characters. Feel free to name off your favorite DLC characters. Which ones do you guys like the most? It is a Banu. We appreciate Banus. What's behind Sasha in this picture? It looks like something that's been wrapped, but it also looks like maybe a vegetable. And Wheels of Steel says Sasha is a very sweet bunny boy. Aw, is a Banui boy? What a cute Banui boy. They must get misgendered all the time. Because insert animal from Animal Crossing that looks very adorable, a lot of people tend to assume, oh, it must be a girl. Colin says, correction, it's 12 DLC characters. Not bad, not bad. Hey, but the more the merrier. There's so many characters. I've heard a lot of people tell tale of the roster being so big. Ooh, and next up, we've got cute Sylveon art. I imagine this is a Sylveon OC. Ah, sadly, the link that has been posted here does not work. The link is broken. It's super cute though. I think the artist goes by the name King Silly Smiles, but the link does not work. Let me see if I can find their username on the DeviantArt website. And stuff is, oh, this cute art fills me with wholesome. I know, and I love it, and I appreciate it when you guys share the wholesome. Because then that gives me an opportunity to share wholesome with you. Okay. King Silly Smiles. Did I spell that right? Ah, it's with a Z. Excuse me. King Silly Smile Z. Oh, I love their art style. I love their art style and their color schemes are so freaking good. Yeah, if you can, I'll do this. I am going to try to find specifically. Well, there's a whole bunch of cute art that comes up when you look up their name. I'll throw the name in the chat. Here's the name of the artist, and I'm trying to find them. Oh, is this them? Oh my gosh, their DeviantArt page is cute. It's got stars and sparkles and... Okay, I really love their profile. I really love their art style. Is this Eevee art too? You guys want to see some Eevee art on top of that? Here's a link to the Eevee art I'm staring at right now. Their art is really good. I will share. First we'll look at this adorable picture of a Sylveon OC. Now I want to find the original link to that because that's also equally cute. Show me your gallery. Show me you're cute. I miss posting stuff on DeviantArt, and it's too bad that they also got taken over with AI without everybody's permission and stole everybody's art, like in the middle of the night. So uncool. Because DeviantArt goes way back. Here, and let me just go ahead and post the Eevee one I found too. By the same artist here. It's adorable! Look at all the different colors. Everything here is so cute. I like the fluff, I like the colors. I love all the accessories. And there's just so much creativity going on with each character. I agree, Mr. McGillicuddy, 100%. It really shouldn't. Especially when it's stealing from other artists. It's super uncool. Like, nah, just don't. Don't be evil. Don't be that guy. What is this back here? I don't know. But I think it's like on top, either part of the background or on top of their tail. Everything in this artwork is just so fascinating that I'm like, ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's that? You know? I think that's the best kind of artwork that makes your eyes go on a journey, an adventure, if you will. Maybe the Eevee is thinking of all the ways they could evolve. They could be a Vaporeon or a... Wait, is this a Jolteon? This one on the upper right corner, is this a Jolteon? Who has a price tag on their collar? And is this a Flareon with a coffee cup in their hair? Aw, and a balloon-themed Espeon. That's adorable. And a construction-themed Leafeon. And we've got like a businessy shirt for Umbreon with some ribbons too. I love this. I love all of this. Real Steel says that Eevee kind of looks like Vaughn. Maybe just a little bit. Okay, no, I see it. I see it too. And Sylphin says, I love it all too. It's super cute and creative. I know, right? And this came from the beautiful mind of the artist. Alright, let me scroll up and continue the show from where we last left off. Next up, we have a post from Deviant Gazer, and they say, I just wanted to share this with Sohma. These 3 little ones. These are my starter Pokemon for my own fan-made region that's been 5 years in the making. And out of curiosity, which one would you choose? Side note, these designs are revisions from older designs. First up, we've got Moshi, the loyal dog Pokemon. I like the stylization behind this one. It kind of reminds me of, like, what do you call them? You know those lion statues you see in Chinese cultures? Yeah. I like this one so far. Then we've got Balava, the fire sheep Pokemon. I do really love the black floof. And black and red is such a cool color combo. Big fan, big fan. And Snackplet. The name. The water snake Pokemon. They're also really, really cute too. They're all 100% adorable. But I have a weakness for puppies, so very tempted for Moshi. I'm tucked between, once again, the grass and the fire type starters. This has been a constant for me, even in the Pokemon universe. Balava or... How about you guys? Which one would you want to start with? Moshi or Balava? I'm gonna say Moshi, because Moshi has a lot of potential to evolve in many ways, and I want to see how this plays out. And Deviant Gazer says, yes, that's what it is. Moshi is based on a food dog or shishi. Got you. I'm glad you like them. I really enjoyed sharing my artwork, but I have a really bashful time. You did great, seriously. Give yourself some credit. I didn't know that you'd made art on the side, Deviant Gazer. Amazing work. Seriously. And it's very clean. And Sylphin says, I like the goat. The goat is cute! I like their eyes. I like their eyes, I like their floof. I especially love the floof. It looks like, because of the color, it's like volcanic ash in a way. Very good design. But yeah, I would start with Moshi, which probably is maybe a name alluding to mochi, because they are the color green, and mochi is can typically come in green colors, not exclusively green, but potentially green. And next up, we have a post from Renchi saying, these are my husband hotel Funko Pop figures I got today. Ooh. It appears you've got Alistor and Serpentis. I adore Serpentis. He's such a good guy, such a good bean. You just want to take care of him. I want to give him all of his little eggies. Deviant Gazer says, I love making Fakemon. I have a lot planned for the region. I even have some cats. Oh my gosh, you have to share! You have to share! Do you hear me? You have to! It's the law. If you've got more Fakemon that you've designed, and their cats, you have to. You have to. Have to? You have to share with me, okay? Promise me. Let me shrink down. Ender King says, did you know that the Spindle Horse made a pilot for an animated adaptation of Homestuck? I did not know that. Yes, please do. Yes. But if you also want to share your other Fakemon, you are more than welcome to. I enjoy seeing your guys' creations. Keep up the fantastic work. I love the creativity. And Colin says, I never knew Hazbin Hotel had Funko Pops. Well, now you know. Now you know. So if you want to go out and collect some, there you go. And I think Bond put the stop signs here to let me know where we end for today. And I think that is where we stop. This was all for context today. Oh, and what is this? What is this? Sorry, I know you guys were posting extra stuff for extra context. Explain this picture. Is this another fusion? They don't get just one fusion, they can do multiple fusions? That is crazy that they have so much flexibility in that regards. But unlike Dragon Ball Z, they don't have to do a fusion dance. What must a Digimon do in order to fuse? And Deviant Gazer says this is Ferrokit. It's based on the concept of feral cats, domestic cats that have been released into the wild. Aww. Sad backstory, but also cute! The white patch breed. So they come in different varieties, I imagine. I like how it's all spiky. It's a very spiky cat. It's like a calico. A really frizzed out calico. Cute! And Deviant Gazer says, and it comes with a bunch of colors. It's important for the evolutions that are still in a work of progress. There's a pink one! Yes! So I imagine it affects their typing as well. I imagine this one's normal, this one's dark, this one's rock, this one's water, this one's maybe psychic or fairy. Ah, the color pink has so much variety. Oh wait, the purple could also be dark. Or ghost. Oh, this one's like a hot pink. I like this pink. Sylvan says, the pink one is my favorite. I gravitate towards the color pink too. It was only until I started VTubing that I actually started to fully embrace my love of all things pink. I've always been really embarrassed to do so, but once I did, I started having a lot more fun in the world. Deviant Gazer says, I have the biggest smile on my face seeing you react to my artwork. Thank you very much for taking an interest. Of course, dude! Seriously, there's so much creativity that went into this. I am super proud of you for having fun and just going for it, you know? Do you know how many ideas artists come up with but never set their pen down to actually create? But you found the courage and the time to put into this, and I think that's really amazing. Keep up the great work. I'd love to see what you make in the future, and I'd love to see the evolution for this guy. For Ferrokit, what do they become? Are they majestic? Are they more feral? Do they become even more beast-like? Like, I'm curious. Mr. McGillicuddy says that image of Omni Nam you just saw is his original form. So it's this one. We get this version, and then there's the other version where he looks more crystal-y and, frankly, a lot skinnier. I like this version. It makes way more sense, and you can see both parts of the Digimon, like on the left-hand side and the one on the right-hand side. I can't define them because I don't have them memorized just yet. Between Garurumon and I forgot the other one's name. Forgive me. But it makes sense, like, this combination. Like, I like it when there's a fusion and you can tell it's a fusion, right? The previous one, if I go back and scroll, the previous one is almost non-distinguishable. The only part that you can really tell that there's some semblance of two Digimon here is there's a head here, and the other head is right on the right-hand side. They're not colored, so it's more like they kind of became their own entity at this point. Like it's an evolution from a fusion. Would you call this an evolution from a fusion? What would you call it? No problem, Deviant Gazer. You don't need to thank me for that. It's been super fun being able to interact with you guys about this stuff too. Talking about fan art, personal art, ideas and creations. That's the best kind of conversation, right? Mr. McGillicuddy says yes. Evolution from a fusion. Ah, it is. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, I can find a newfound appreciation for this fusion. I can find a new appreciation for that. Because if this was just an alternate fusion, I would have just been like, nah. Like, it looks cool, but it's too evolved from its original 2, you know? But with that context, it kind of changes how I see this. Context does a lot of good work, let me tell you. Steve engages says, I hope everyone has a good rest of the day and a fantastic weekend. I got to get going. Thank you for giving me the time. No problem, TV Engager. You have a wonderful weekend, okay? Until next time, buddy. Wheels of Steel says, do you want me to see if I can find some cute art of your favorite digital kitty? Got a lot of favorite digital cats. Yeah, go ahead and throw them in and we'll save them for the next Show Me Live. Otherwise, we can keep this chain of ideas going and going and going. Sylphin says, it's always a pleasure to see these. I find Show Me Lives a wonderful idea, just streaming games all the time. I agree. I wanted to create a live stream where we dedicate time to just hang out with one another, you know? Kind of a way for me to give back and connect with all of you. I'm glad that it served its purpose. And I'm glad you guys feel the same way too. And Mr. McGillicuddy says, basically unlike Pokemon, and this isn't me talking bad about Pokemon, Digimon never stop evolving in different ways. Dude, I love that. Okay, I really want to get into Digimon, if that's the case. I always hate the idea that evolution is such a limited thing in the Pokemon universe, but I still like Pokemon. Yeah, I'll complain about it, but I'll still enjoy the content. And Sylphin says, it's always a pleasure to see these. Oh yeah, I read that one. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody's message. I feel like I missed somebody's message. The main reason I don't try to take too many extras during the same Show Me Live is that we try to proof these before we go live, because, you know, what's stopping somebody from just posting a picture of a butt? Anybody could just randomly post something that is not appropriate for stream, or for the server for that fact, and I would have to scramble and quickly delete it before the eyes, not the eyeballs. Mr. McGillicuddy says, basically unlike a Pokemon, and this isn't... I mean, we can talk bad about Pokemon just a little bit. Pokemon's not this sacred relic that we have to, like, hold up and never say anything bad about ever, because it's not perfect. Pokemon's never been perfect. And it's got lots of its own faults. We try to keep things as drama-free as possible. But, I mean, it's not my fault if Nintendo makes themselves look bad. Colin says, some Pokemon have branching evolutions, like, besides Eevee. I like that. Mr. McGillicuddy says, if you like, I can gift you a Digimon game. I am currently not open to receiving Steam games at this time, just because I don't know how to keep my Steam account private in order to do that, because I like to keep my Steam profile private. Not because there's anything to hide there, but because it's personal. If you get it, you get it. Same thing for my Switch account too, where I don't want to give that information out to everybody in the world. Thanks for understanding. I appreciate it. But yes, for the moment, while I have you in chat, can you write the name of the Digimon game you had in mind? And I'll look into it right now. I'll add it to my wish list so that way I can always reference it. Good job. Thank you for your patience. I shall do the research. Oh my, it's still relatively early. I'm never not sleepy. I could play some more Animal Crossing, or I could try to play some Zenless. Digimon Story Time Strangers. Okay, let me go look that up. Stem. Store. I've also been considering trying out Uma Musume, but that's also another gacha game, and I cannot afford to have more than one gacha game at a time. Digimon Story Time Strangers. I'll keep this in my pocket. And I'll add it to my wish list. For there's no sale and the full price is it's a little up there. But some games are definitely worth it if you enjoy it. Meanwhile, I see my friend is playing Helldivers. I don't know if that's a game I could probably enjoy because I'd probably get motion sickness if I did. Hey, this game seems to be having its own, entire storyline to it. Hence the name Digimon Story. Just a curious question. Do you get to design your own character in this game? Is there character customization? I love it when a game allows you to do that. Ender King says, if you don't mind, I had a question about some potential fan art I could do for the next Show Me Live. I think you missed the comment. Sorry about that. My apologies. What makes you question if it is suitable or not? Feel free and ask away. I imagine there must be a combat system in this game. Is it a turn-based combat system or what? Mr. McGillicuddy says, no, but there are alternate outfits. You know what? Fair. This is when I know I've been spoiled. When my brain just expects character customization options and there are none. And Colin asks, do the outfits give different effects on Digimon? And Mr. McGillicuddy says, yes, it's a turn-based game. Gotcha. That makes sense to me, and I should be able to adapt to that playstyle pretty easily. Whether I do good or not is still up for debate, because I imagine there are certain mechanics behind certain fights with certain Digimon. Like, a long time ago, when I was just a tiny tick and I was playing Final Fantasy X, I couldn't get past this one fight where you fight against the crazy guy who really wants to marry Yuna. Well, I forgot his name. Yeah, I got stuck fighting him on a mountain and I didn't know how to beat him and I got really frustrated and I stopped playing after that. And I never got to beat the game. Which is also another game I need to play or stream for you guys. That could be fun. Yeah, Seymour. Yep, it was Seymour. Oh gosh, I don't like that guy. He's so creepy. He turned his mom into an Aeon. Mr. McGillicuddy says, there is, and if you need help, I'm sure me or anyone else here can help you understand the mechanics. I appreciate that, but only do so if I ask for it. Because, I mean, you gotta let me struggle in at least a little bit. If all the answers are handed to me on a silver plate, then what's the point of playing a game? You know? You gotta experience the highs, the lows, the confusion, and everything in between. That's the player experience. Colin says, I beat Final Fantasy X-1, but never finished X-2 because my PS3 is dead. Don't worry, you're not really missing out. You're really not missing out. As somebody who's also played X-2, it was just very fan servicey, but it's not even good. And it's so very dated at this point. I don't think it aged well personally, but that's just my opinion. Mr. McGillicuddy says, there are some mechanics they don't explain at the start. Oh, I imagine it expects you to be a seasoned Digimon connoisseur. I want the dog Digimon. He's cute. He's got a massive snoot. Growing up, I really liked Patomon. Patomon looks like bread. I think his name was Patomon. Let me see if I can find a picture of the one I'm thinking of. Not Gatomon, but Patomon. Pat. I'm gonna post it in the Discord. I like this guy. He kind of looks like a hamster when you think about it. A hamster with wings. And Enderking says, so what I was trying to ask earlier, a Sohma Bionicle character? Like what I did at the TTRPG party? Oh, I'm totally super yay for it. Yeah, go for it. I'd love to see it. That'd be super duper cool. As long as it's not a burden or anything, or as long as it's fun for you, I encourage it. And I look forward to seeing it. Mr. McGillicuddy says, he has one of the 3 starters you can choose from, and the best choice. Yes! Duly noted. I will remember this. And I love this cute little hamster. Oh, he's so cute. Look at those eyes. Look at that face. There's not a thought in that brain of his, but he's super cute. Ghost of Steel says, I also like Galmon. He's a cool martial arts puppy that gets cool energy claws. Dude, let me see what this Galmon looks like. Gal is a sound effect for, like, growl. Galmon? Oh, he is a kung fu puppy. What the heck? Let me see if I can share a picture of him as well. Here is Kung Fu Puppy. You were not joking about the Kung Fu part. Enderking says, however, what element? I think lightning would fit the color scheme best, but ultimately up to you. Me, if there's a fairy type, I'd love to be a fairy type. If there is a... hold on. If there's not a fairy type, then fire. I like fire. I like to burn things. Give me fire. Burn, burn, burn. Fire, fire, fire. It's not fun anymore when everything turns to ash, then you can't burn it anymore. Mr. McGillicuddy says, I love how he goes from a flying hamster to an angel. I know, he does turn into an angel, doesn't he? Man, I don't know what the heck this little guy was supposed to be when I was a kid. I just saw round and cute and said, yeah, that's a friend shape. If I've ever seen one, this is friend. It's gotta be friend. Mr. McGillicuddy says that's boxing, not kung fu. But he's got the headband and everything. But I see what you mean about the boxing gloves. I see. Sylvan says, I'm Team Ice first, Team Dark second. You know, if the fairy typing didn't exist, I'd be Team Dark too. That's just funny because my other name actually translates directly to fairy, so it's like it was meant to be all along. And Wheels of Steel says, Sohma, do you remember Guilemon? He's a super cute digital dragon that can burn. Guilemon? Let me look him up. Let me look up this creature. Guilemon? Oh yeah, I remember this dude. When I was a kid, I thought he was Charmeleon. Aw, he is an adorable fire dragon. Let me grab a picture. There's so many good pictures. Okay, this comes right from the wiki. It'd Maybe not the best picture, but a picture nonetheless. There you go. King says there's fire, water, earth, air, ice, stone, light, shadow, lightning, magnets. There's magnets? What the? Magnets? Plasma? I don't even know what plasma is IRL. Gravity, sound, plants, metal, and mind. Let's see here. Well, if I go by my Chinese zodiac predictions and whatnot, apparently I am an earth element. Apparently. I don't want to be an earth element. I'm pretty much an airhead, so why not air? Let's go air. I want to become skybound. I don't want to be earthbound. I want to fly like an eagle into the future. Come on. Throw me into the sky and see how far I go. Bills of Steel says, despite him being a digital dragon, he kind of acts like a puppy dog. He actually becomes a paladin in his ultimate form. Dude, that sounds so cool! Okay, as much as I want to look up all of these like evolutions and stuff, I gotta save some surprises for if and when we play a Digimon game. I gotta save something as a surprise. You're showing me all the cool stuff right out the gate. King says, as for the color schemes, it's gotta be pink. I gotta be pink. If I'm not pink, I will rage. And Mr. McGillicuddy says, by attributes and elements. And Colin says, what's weak to what in terms of elements? Like, what the heck would magnets be weak to? What would plasma be weak to? King says, lightning is blue, purple, and white. Fire is red and orange, and air is shades of green and teal. Oh, so if I was air, I would be green? Ah, I don't want to be green. I don't like the color green. Green belongs in nature, not in my hair. No green. No green. Sorry, green lovers. So, if I was pink, that could be considered a shade of purple, which maybe could be considered a type of fire. I do love fire. Fire, fire, fire. Fire, fire, fire. Burn, burn, burn. Burn, burn, burn. What fun conversation, you guys. So I noticed his tummy has like a symbol that looks like the hazard symbol. Hazard, this dragon is super extra spicy hot. Oh, which is why you suggested lightning. Sure, I'll be open-minded to lightning. Let's play around with it. I mean, lightning, if it strikes anything flammable, it could create fire. So, you know, it's all relative in the end. I just have to work a little extra hard if I want something to set on fire. That's all it is. And I can live with that. So I could be the God Smiter. Since, you know, in Elden Ring, all the gods like to use lightning to fell their fallen angels or fallen comrades. Or whoever they say, yeah, we're gonna throw you onto this hellscape and abandon you and make sure somebody takes you out. And Mr. McGillicuddy says correct. That's a digital hazard symbol. I can't remember exactly why, but he is dangerous. Well, if he's a dragon, that's pretty much a good enough reason. Alone. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the fact that he has toe beans? He's got toe beans on his hand. He's got the paw. He's got the paw. And you guys said he's very puppy-like? That makes me happy. I'd adopt him immediately. He's a good boy. Kind of reminds me of the fire dragon from Chrono Cross. He was a short little guy. Let me see if I can find... Oh, excuse me. Art of him. Fire dragon. He has several forms. Chrono Cross, which is a game I need to go back to and finish when Bon is ready to join me for voice acting, because there's so many characters in this game. As much as I would like to do this, like, to pick the game up on my own,
having another person next to me to voice characters really helps bring some of them to life. It reminds me just a little bit of this little dude, if you guys remember. Not the same character, but similar in terms of proportions.
And Underking says, and a follow-up question. What mask ability? There's a lot, so I can probably find a canon one close enough to whatever you think of. I would need to see a list, and I imagine YouTube doesn't allow that many characters, so feel free to DM me or DM Bon, and I'll pick one out when the time comes. I appreciate your patience and understanding on this one. And Sylphin says, so if I'm following this all right, does each Digimon have different types, or can they each be a different type within the same species? Oh my. And then Mr. McGillicuddy says, that is difficult to explain, but the main thing to take away for weakness is the three main attributes: data, vaccine, and virus, as it goes in a rock, papers, and scissors system. So when you're, like, say you're having a battle, do you focus more on the elements, or do you focus more on those three types you just mentioned between the vaccine, virus, and data? That is a bit confusing. This is where the advice is welcome. This is a whole new universe, and I imagine all the rules are very different from what we expect from our previous experiences. Say, from other RPGs and video games. But yeah, I digress. And Wills still says, hello, adorable dragon. Is he holding a bow staff? I'm not sure if it's specifically a bow staff, but he is wielding a polearm or bow or a staff of some kind. He does whack us a lot with it. Let me see, I think I can find a bigger picture of that bow staff. Let me grab it right over here. See if I can make it bigger. See, there's a pointy part on the end of that stick. And Mr. McGillicuddy says, the three types as they do more damage. So I imagine if you want to do optimal damage, or the most, efficient way to play is to pay attention to everything, right? You want to pay attention to all the things at once. But if you just want to get the basics down, the data, vaccine, and virus are the first things you want to look towards. This is a unit. And Elsa still says, I get that dragon is supposed to look intimidating, but he actually looks more adorable. He is super adorable here, I know! So when I saw this Digimon, I immediately had flashbacks to this fire dragon. We love our fire dragons. He does get a bit of an upgrade down the line. It's still not even his full form yet, I don't think. I forget, what is his full form? No, I'm thinking of his summon. His summon is a lot different. Okay, let me grab a picture of him when he is stronger. There, now he's bigger. Still not intimidating if you ask me. He's got very massive thighs though. Very muscly, this one. And Wheels of Steel says, I get that dragon is supposed to look intimidating, but he looks more adorable. I couldn't agree more. And also says, he's not the cutest dragon in video games. That title goes to Spyro. Oh yeah. We love Spyro. Spyro's the best. Spyro is the absolute cutest cutie to have ever done cute. I love Spyro. We need to go back and play more Spyro. I don't think I've finished the trilogy yet. I know I played 1 and I played 2, right? I think I played 2. I'm fairly certain I played 2. Let me go check my channel. Do you guys remember if I
played Spyro 2. Spyro. Yeah, I did play Spyro 2. I have a playlist for it and everything. And it's really fun collecting all the gems. I had a really good time doing that. Sparks is actually useful. Wilson Steele says, I remember you beat Spyro 2 because Ripto made you rage. Dude, that boss fight had phases! There were phases to that fight! Are you kidding me? Even back then, we had boss phases? What the what? Colin says, Spyro in the Reignited trilogy is voiced by Tom Kenny, who I know you will know as SpongeBob. I love his role as SpongeBob. He also did the Ice King, from what I remember. We gotta go play part 3 in the future. There's so many things I want to do. I know that things are a little slow right now and that we're taking our time and we're moseying, but I appreciate your guys' patience as I am still technically recovering from my brain surgery. I know it's been a long time. I feel guilty always saying that I'm still recovering. In my head, I always feel like, Sohma, you can only say that for so long. But Bon always reminds me, it takes years for some people to get better from this. And I'm like, okay, maybe you're right, but I'm also ambitious by nature, and there's a lot of stuff I want to do. So I don't want myself or my condition to stop me from having a good time with all of you guys either. I thank you guys so much for still sticking by my side and hanging out with me, despite like how we have to take our time with certain things. Your guys' constant like company and patience and understanding, especially during this time, it means so much to me. Aw, Wilson Steele, thank you. Thank you for that. I'm gonna keep doing my best to get a little bit stronger each and every day by getting appropriate sleep and eating lots of yummy food. Emphasis on the food. I like food. So I can regain my strength and become better. I'm not giving up. Every day is a chance and an opportunity if you think about it. Gotta stay positive. And so I encourage all of you to go out there and have lots of fun. Go and explore plenty of opportunities and, you know, go have a wonderful weekend and all that jazz. And next week we'll be doing more of the same. And maybe I might sprinkle a little bit of Resident Evil 3 Remake in between because I still want to finish that game. I've got plans. Until next time, you guys stay warm and cozy.